Good morning, students. Myself, Dr. Haribhau Vaghire, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, Maharaja Jivajirao Shinde, Mahavidyalaya Srigonda, District Ahmednagar. The main aim of this video is only for educational purpose. Our college is affiliated to Savitribai Phule University of Pune, and in this university the syllabus of FY-BSc and SY-BSc, there is a CBCS pattern, that is choice based credit system is there. In that choice based credit system there are 2 credits for each paper for each semester, and there are 35 marks for theory and 15 marks for internal evaluation. In this way there is a evaluation system, and for FY-BSc our paper is paper number 2nd, that is morphology of reproductive parts, plant morphology and anatomy. And in that plant morphology and anatomy we have discussed different chapters. In that chapter we have studied different articles. In the first topic, that is in credit first, the name of first topic is morphology. Then in that morphology there are always question is asked, define morphology. And what is morphology? The external appearance of organ. When we take the example of plant morphology, then how that plant looks like, which type of root system is there, adventitious root system is there or taproot system is there. Then what about stem? Stem is branched or unbranched. Then in case of leaf, which type of leaf is there? Compound leaf is there, simple leaf is there. Means how that organ or looks like. In case of flower, is there actinomorphic flower or zygomorphic flower? Means how the flower is there, complete flower, incomplete flower. In this way, in this morphology chapter there are different questions can be asked for your evaluation, and the question can be asked in that way that what are the important aspects of plant morphology, which are a different important aspect in that plant morphology. Then what is the importance of plant morphology in different disciplines, that is what is the importance of plant morphology in plant identification. We are the student of plant taxonomy, and therefore we know that the plant identification is a very important part, and if there is no plant name we cannot understood which plant is which and how we can call that plant. Therefore, the identification is a very important point. Then identification make on the basis of morphological characteristic features, reproductive characteristic features, androecium, gynoecium, floral structure. Then another point is plant nomenclature. What is the nomenclature? We know that there is a binomial nomenclature system in plant life, in animal life also, and in that binomial nomenclature system there are 2 names to each and every plant. First is a generic name, another is a specific name, and after that there is a name of the author, that is called as the authority. In this way this concept binomial nomenclature are very important in this morphological criteria. Then how, third point is about classification. What is classification? Define classification, how classification are made, which are the different points, on that point plants are classified. Then next article is about phylogeny. What is phylogeny? Define phylogeny. What is the importance of that phylogeny in morphology? We know that phylogeny is nothing but an ancestral history. How the ancestor of particular plant was there, and that is also important. Phylogeny is also important criteria in the study of plant morphology. Then recent study, that is plant breeding. In today's life there is a scarcity of food, and to fulfill that need of the food, the different breeders, they are studied very well in plant breeding system. Then what is the definition of plant breeding? What is the importance of that plant breeding in the study of morphology? How plants are modified, how genetic modified plants are produced, that is called a GMO plant. In that way there are different criteria in these morphological studies. Then another question is that write or what is a descriptive, comparative and interpretative morphology. We know that descriptive morphology means detailed account about that plant. That is called a descriptive morphology. The details, points are given. Then what is comparative morphology? Comparative characteristic features. Which type of leaf is there in dicot? Which type of leaf in monocot? Which type of root system is found in monocot? Which type of root system is found in dicot? Means there are comparative points are studied. Stem, in branched stem, unbranched stem. In monocot, unbranched stem is there. In dicot, branched stem is there. Means there is a comparative study. And what about interpretative study? There are some interpretations or the observations are noted down in this interpretative morphology. Then second question can be asked that comment on morphology is the foundation of botanical science. It is a foundation. How it is the basic thing about the plant sciences or botanical sciences. And there is a real point is that morphology is the fundamental or it is the foundation, because on the basis of morphology we are going to study details about the plant. Then define the following terms. Then which are the following terms? They are asked in your exam, that is binomial nomenclature. There is a system of giving two names to the plant, that is called a binomial nomenclature system. Bi means two, nomenclature means giving name to that plant, that is called binomial nomenclature. Then what is anatomy and histology? Define anatomy. What is anatomy? When we are going to learn about the internal structure, that is called anatomy. What is histology? When we take the transverse section and observe under microscope, that is called histology. Then what is descriptive morphology? Details about particular organ, that is called a descriptive morphology. Give a description, writes different points, that is called descriptive morphology. Then comparative morphology. Define comparative morphology means how they are compared by giving different points, that is root, stem, leaves, leaf, flower, how they are compared. On the basis of comparative study we can write different points. Then classification. There is a, on the basis of similarities and dissimilarities there are groups of the plants, and that groups is called classification. This is the system of grouping on the basis of similarities and dissimilarities, that is called classification. Then plant breeding, we know that now we have studied till that the plant breeding is a very important branch of our botany. With the help of this plant breeding, we can improve the plant, we can produce a genetically modified plant. Then what about apomixis? What is amphimixis? Gamospermy. What is gamospermy? Which are different characteristic features in that gamospermy? In this way, in this chapter morphology, there are different points or different questions can be asked. Okay. In the next topic, that is morphology or that is a morphology of reproductive parts, that is second point article or the second chapter. In that second chapter, the different questions can be asked on the basis of the reproductive structure. What is flower? Very simple definition of the flower. We have studied the definition of flower since 9th class. Therefore, each and every student can be know the definition of the flower. What is flower? It is highly modified and condensed shoot which is meant only for the sexual reproduction, and that is called flower. Then question can be asked, what is flower? Comment on parts of typical flower. We know that different parts of the flower, taking from thalamus, pedicel, thalamus, calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium, that are the different parts of the flower. That is the typical flower, that is the different parts. Then write the different functions of different parts. Calyx takes part in photosynthesis, it is green in color, it is protective in function. When the flower is in bud condition, it protects all floral holes. Then corolla attract insects, it is colored, then it protect the inner floral holes. It is a very important in case of fertilization or pollination. Then another question can be asked, that define flower, give an account of insertion of floral leaves and types of floral, classified, studied by you, hypogynous flower, epigynous flower, perigynous flowers, how they are classified on the basis of position of the ovary, then how that floral hoses are inserted, give an illustrated account of cohesion and adhesion of stamens. How stamens they have arranged in the flower. What is the position of stamen? In some flowers stamens are attached and the filaments are free. In some plants filaments are attached, stamens are free. When we see the flowers of the hibiscus, then we should know that all the stamens they are gathered on a single adelphi, that is called the monoadelphous condition. In this way there are different cohesions and adhesions of the stamens. Then what is calyx? Who will define the calyx? It is a greenish outermost first floral hole which takes part in photosynthesis, which protect the floral holes, inner floral holes when flower is in bud condition. Then which are different modifications of the calyx studied by you. कोणकोणते modification तुम्ही शिकलात? Pappus calyx, spurred calyx. There are different modifications of the calyx we have studied. Then which are the forms of corolla? Papilionaceous corolla, infundibuliform corolla. In that way there are different forms of corolla, gives the functions of corolla in flower. We know that corolla is attractive green colored part of the plant, and therefore it attracts the insects which is required for the pollination, and end is fertilization. Then what is androecium? It is a male reproductive floral hole which is a third floral hole. Androecium is made up of stamen and filament. Okay. Then comment on structure of stamens and phenomenon of cohesion and adhesion of the stamens and how they are arranged. We know that there is a different positions of the stamens in different flowers. Then what is placentation and give account of types of placentations. What is the arrangement of the ovules on the placenta, that is called a placentation. And which are different types of placentation, we know that axial placentation, marginal placentation, there are different types of placentations we have studied. Okay. Then the question can be asked to write down the short notes. Okay. Then which are that question for short notes, write short note on Papilionesis corolla, which is found in the Cisalpinaceae family. Then bilobate corolla, which is found in Ocimum or Adolsa. We have seen that flowers, bilobates means there are 2 lobes of the corolla, that is found in Ocimum, मराठी मध्ये आपण त्याला तुळस म्हणतो. Then spurred calyx is also found in different plants. Then adhesion of stamens. In this way there are different short notes can be asked for your exam. Then parts of typical flower, we know that different parts of the flower, androgynoecium, gynoecium, calyx, corolla. Then estivation, arrangement of the floral leaves, that is called estivation. Then significance of placentations, what is the significance of the placentations, that can be studied. That the significance of placentation is that it results in the proper distribution of ovules in the ovary, proper distribution of ovules in the ovary. In ovary we know that there is a ovules, and the proper distribution, how that are distributed, how that are arranged. As a result, ovules receive a proper nourishment, and on the basis of their distribution they receive proper nourishment. Therefore, the placentation plays very vital role in that ovule. Then ovule produced on the placenta are the future seeds and ovary is the future fruit. Hence, is the study of placentation important in the study of fruits. Then the study of placentation is useful in identification and classification of flowering plants also. When we take the transverse section of the ovary, then we can understood which type of placentation is found in which type of families. And therefore, it is a taxonomic importance. And the last significance of placenta is that the placentation may give idea of seed output, means dehiscent झाल्यानंतर how seeds comes out, and hence the productivity in some plants. We know that there are some dehiscent fruit, there are some indehiscent fruit, and which are the main way to comes out the seeds, that we can understood when we take the transverse section or when we studied about the placentations. Then the question can be asked in that way, distinguish between, in this type of question can be asked hypogynous and epigynous flowers. Then bilobate and Papilionesis corolla, what is the difference between bilobate corolla and Papilionesis corolla? Then what is actinomorphic flower and what is zygomorphic flower? Then what is axial placentation and what is marginal placentation? In this way there are some distinguishing points can be studied, or that difference can be asked for your question. Then another definition, define briefly what about thalamus, then what is actinomorphic, what is zygomorphic, what is placentation, what is estivation, what is placenta, what is pappus calyx, what is hypogynous condition, and what is epigynous condition. In this way, in today's this short video, we have studied the question bank about the chapter number 1, that is morphology, and question bank about the morphology of reproductive part, that is our second chapter. In this way, we have completed the question bank and some discussion about that questions, how questions can be asked in your exam. Thank you for watching this video, and if you want to see more videos of FY BSc and SY BSc, please visit to Dr. Vaigare's biology channel. Thank you.